Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm chiming in once again with these kind of just little sort of inspirational videos that I'm trying to kind of get off the ground. I didn't really introduce a scaffold for it early in this channel's history. I know I did some early videos which are kind of general, but this kind of falls into that sort of that same kind of content style really, where I kind of just say maybe a couple of things about myself, or I kind of hope to make a point of certain videos that are only about 5-ish minutes long, ideally. Yeah, that's like almost a new scaffold that can be brought in, and I would say that that's probably what's going to happen in days where I don't do the content that's usually aired. Yeah, like in the case of Happy Saturday today, usually I would react to sort of funny, sweet videos kind of to uplift people. This content style very much fits the mold of Happy Saturday. So maybe sometimes this will replace that, and other days as well when maybe I don't really feel up to doing the usual, whether it be keeping it real or whatever. I just do one of these instead. The daily uploads is the priority to me. As long as I do something decent with every single video that gets uploaded on this channel, and I have a point to everything that it is that I put out, that I'm fine with that, and where naturally my life takes me and what I record. Because at this rate, honestly, at this rate, it's seeming like I'm recording daily. And I know that I had an initial plan at the start of the year to kind of have one day of my week, probably preferably on the weekend, where I'd really work on the next week's workload for the channel. I'm finding now that it's actually becoming more of a day job kind of thing. I'm doing this every day, and it's not an enormous chunk of my day. I'd probably say it's certainly not more than about an hour's worth, but I'm definitely putting a fair bit of thought into in my life in general to this channel, and I'm really trying, and it'll improve as time goes on. But yeah, I thought I'd chime in again with something like this to talk about another topic really, and I'll try and change these up and switch them around and sort of thing. But I was sitting and I was thinking, look, I'm gonna do one of these, and if I'm gonna do them more regularly, I need to think about how I approach this in terms of what I talk about in these, and what message I like to give to people, um, to try and maybe help them in their day. In today's case, I realised that a nice way to go with these types of videos would to think that very much in the present, don't pick a topic. This isn't the podcast. Don't pick a topic to talk about. Think about what's been relevant to me, at least very much in the immediate present, if not even today itself. And anything that's worrying me is probably worrying somebody else out there. So I think it's probably a good idea to attack it from that angle. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about sort of self-worth, which I mean I already have kind of. I did that not so long ago, but what I mean, it's a particular angle that I want to talk about, and it's about um, sort of your efforts towards life, whether that be through material things or people, and trying to make efforts and connections. And I think there's a point that I think needs to be made about. There is one that I think needs to be made around just doing the best that you can. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So let's say there's something that needs doing in life, whether that be a group project, and you need to do your bit and chip in and do everything like that. This is completely hypothetical. This isn't relevant to me at all. But let's say you did everything you could in that group project. You did absolutely everything. You know that you tried. You know that you did, and everyone else in the group seemed to sort of let you down. And you could be marked pretty poorly on that because it's a group effort. That analogy can be applied to life and a lot of things. There are a lot of different factors that are just completely out of your control, and a lot of times people sort of take external variables that are nothing to do with them, and weigh themselves down because of it, and they don't look at the bigger picture and think, look, I could not have changed this. This is completely out of my hands. I did the best I could, and it hurts and it sucks sometimes. But sometimes things really aren't just they just don't work out because they don't work out. And as long as you know that you did the best you could, that's enough. Um, really, I think there's a lot of confusion around that with people, and I think the biggest reason for that would potentially be that the emotions are so sweeping, that you tend to blame it on yourself, especially the good people out there. They really tend to internalize it rather than blame other people, because a lot of people like to finger point. But some real good ones out there tend to internalize it when things go wrong. And I think it's always nice to remember, and not even just remember, just maybe analyze and just think about the situation. And if it's too hurtful, then just come back to it tomorrow. But just think, did I handle that as best as I possibly could have? And if the answer is yes, then there's nothing more that can be done. And you move on. And if anything, if the external factors were completely out of your control, how it went so wrong, if it might be possible to even make a note of what those external factors are. Because yes, you might have done everything that you possibly could have to stop it, but maybe that's an external factor that you'd want to either be cautious of or maybe avoid next time if it's something that you're able to. All of these things can be considered to try and have a better turn when that same kind of circumstance presents itself again. That's in terms of projects and sort of material things in life and endeavors. That's very much applies to what I've already said. A different spin on relationships would potentially be that when you try and either be nice to people or put yourself out there, or sort of really try to make connections with people who you usually wouldn't. And that can be hard for some people. Some people find it really difficult to reach out to new friends and meet people. And sometimes, yes, there is awkwardness in the air, and you can come off in ways that you didn't intend. But it's all about motive in that way. And as long as you make your motive relatively clear, the execution is messy because we're human and we have emotions and they are conflicting all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just who we are. And as long as everyone tries their best in those scenarios as well, that's fine. When you're meeting somebody and you're being as nice as you possibly can, you're being friendly, and you just want to know more about them, and you do things the right way. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to know that you're respectful, you did everything right, and there's nothing more you can do. Don't beat yourself up, guys, about things that you can't control. Other people will have opinions. Other people will see you in different ways, potentially to the way in which you see yourself. There's nothing you can do to control that. All you can do is try and figure out who you are and be authentically yourself. That's very important. The authenticity in interactions and in work is vital to ensure that everyone knows where you're coming from at all times. There's no mistake there. Everyone knows who you are. They know what you bring to the table, and they know that you're doing your best because you're trying every single day. And I hope that in the case of a lot of you, you do feel that you can try your best. And when I say that, I mean be completely authentically who you are, and do your best to put that on show in the best manner and execution that you possibly can. And overall, I think if that's done by enough people, I think understanding is a much better way forward. A much better way forward is carved out for understanding for people in group dynamics and individuals, that people just hear each other out and try and understand people a bit more. But first, that comes from within. So I would advise that people try and be who it is they feel they need to be, as long as that person has their heart in the right place. So yeah, I hope someone needed to hear that today, and just do your best. There's no pressure on you to be everything that everyone wants you to be. At least not all at once. Be who you want to be. And if you need to take a day, take 2, take 5, whatever it takes, just take a breather, get back out in the field and be your best self, and just try. And all you can do is try. Don't be affected by everything on the outside telling you no. or telling you that what you're doing is wrong just because it's not the way they do things. Do what you feel you need to do, and respect yourself for doing that. Be kind, do your best, and always remember, you are enough. See you later, guys.